everyone, and welcome to Empty Plates. This is our first dessert edition. So as you can imagine, it's going to be pretty easy to have an empty plate. But imagine having a dessert that also serves as a centerpiece. We're going to make this awesome pumpkin cake today. Okay, let's get started. So for the sake of saving time, I already made the cakes yesterday. You're going to need 2 bundt cakes. And I have a basic recipe that I use for everything. And it's 2 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, a half a teaspoon of salt, a cup of sugar, 3 large eggs, a half a cup of butter softened, 3/4 cup of milk, and you're just going to take all your dry ingredients, mix them up together, and then just slowly add the butter, and then one at a time add the eggs. And then you can make that cake, which is the vanilla one here, into any cake you want by adding something simple as a half a cup of cocoa powder made the chocolate cake. If you want to make a pumpkin cake, you can use a half a can of pumpkin and then just add some pumpkin spices inside of it. So it's very versatile. You could just make any flavor you want. You could add fruit, you could add chocolate chips. You can make a rainbow chip cake by adding sprinkles. So it's extremely versatile. And it makes either 1 bundt cake or it'll make 2 9-inch round cakes. All right, so that's all done. We're gonna start working on our frosting. Okay, so we're gonna make our basic buttercream frosting. Everybody loves buttercream frosting. Okay, you have to start out with 2 sticks of softened butter, which equals 1 cup. And always use real butter. Margarine's not good for you, and it doesn't taste as good. If you have a stand mixer, it makes your life so much easier. I remember my husband wanted to get me one. I didn't want it because it was too expensive, and now I can't live without it. Okay, once you get that creamed up a little bit, you're going to want to take 1 cup of the powdered sugar. You're going to be using 6 to 7 cups of the powdered sugar, so it takes a little while because you'll learn quickly that you can't add a lot at once. Otherwise you make a big mess like I've done so many times. So again, turn it on low. And if you're mixing it with a hand mixer, you want to even add smaller amounts. Okay, so it's starting to get a little thick. So I'm going to start adding some of the milk. Just add it a teaspoon or so at a time. I think I just put 2 in there. I'm also going to add a teaspoon of vanilla, just for a little flavor. This is somewhere where you can make all your own alterations too, because if you're having lemon cake, you can make it lemon, or you want amaretto, rum, any of the extracts, whatever is your favorite. So it does take about 10 minutes for the whole process to finish, so it can be a little tedious. So that's another great reason to have a stand mixer, because you can let it mix and maybe get something else done while you're waiting. Okay, the other thing that you could do to customize this frosting yourself is to add coloring. In this case, we're going to be doing the pumpkin, so we're going to make it orange. And I really prefer the gel colorings that come in the little pots. Their colors are just more true. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that and get that going too, so we can see how much we're going to need. best just to put a little in at a time because they're pretty concentrated. You could always add more if you need it. You can see how light and fluffy it's getting. And that looks pretty good. Gonna be ready to frost. Okay, so we're ready to start frosting the cake. And your best utensils for frosting cakes are these types of spreaders. I really like to have the 2 different sizes. It just makes creating a little bit easier. But the first thing you want to do before we assemble this is make the tops flat. So we just do have to cut off the top part just where it's sticking up. You don't have to be extremely precise because it's going to be in the middle of the cake. Just put that to the side. So we'll put the white one on the bottom. You're going to do the same thing to the other one. And I'm sure you have a child or a significant other in the house that will be more than happy to eat the scraps. Okay, so we're going to put a layer for the filling and stick the cakes together as well. So you could put something else in here if you don't want to put frosting. You find jam, fluff, peanut butter, fresh fruit, whipped cream, pudding. Like I said, just make it whatever you like best. Like so. Now you can really see that it's going to look like a pumpkin when we're finished. For the stem, we're going to use an ice cream cone cup, and you could get them in all different colors. I got this one is green. I used a brown one before, so they both work really well. You kind of just stick it right in the middle. Okay, so now we're just going to frost the cake. And at first, all you want to do is make sure you cover it all. It doesn't have to be, whoop, there we go. It doesn't have to be perfect. Then we're going to make the lines in it after to make it look like a pumpkin. And everybody loves this cake. I make it every year. I'll either make it at Halloween. You can make it for Halloween and put a cute face on it to make it look like a jack-o'-lantern for kids' Halloween party. Or I make it for Thanksgiving and we just make it look like a pumpkin, and it's just a nice centerpiece for the table even too. And it's always a good conversation piece too. This frosting is spreading really smoothly, but a tip for you, that's why I had a glass of water here, is if it's not, you could heat up your spreader with some warm water and it just makes the frosting glide a lot easier. It'll smooth it up pretty good. It's a really good technique when you're making a layer cake. To make the ridges in the pumpkin, just going to lay the spatula flat and just pull it right up to the top. And just wipe it off when you get a little bit too much on it, the excess. Let's bring it right up, wipe it off. Just keep turning it. And then you're going to continue this all the way around. All right, so let's dig into this. Everybody's waited long enough tonight. Get a nice big piece. Look at that. Looks pretty awesome. Thanks for watching Empty Plates once again, and please stay tuned for our next episode, which is going to be interesting Thanksgiving sides.